Girl, tell me why I was on the floor doing nails, because I had bills to pay. If you are trying to decide whether you want to do your beauty services at home, in a salon or mobile, this is the place that you need to be, because I'm going to give you pros and cons of these things. I've personally experienced it. I've had the best experience in the nail shop, in the at home, doing it mobile, but also these things came with their challenging moments. Let's start with working at a salon. The pros for working at a salon would be you get different types of clients, so a mixture of clients, whether young or old, you know, male or female. You don't really have control over who comes in and who you do your services on, so that's a good pro. You get a little bit of mixture, and then maybe down the line you can decide which type of clientele that you want. And this also gives you more money because you're not just limited to a particular type of client. Another pro for working in a salon would be it is a public space, and sometimes it's easier to find, and also it's safer for you. You know that the people coming in and out are people you don't know, but they also don't know where you live, or you're not going to them, so that would be a pro. Also, with working in a salon, you already have the furniture there, so that means you're not spending money on buying your own furniture. For example, a nail desk, lash bed, or a chair that is comfortable. You're not spending money on these things are already in the salon, and it's cheaper for you. I put marketing as another pro for working in a salon, because with the salon, I'm pretty sure they're on social media already. They're most likely well established and known brand or business, so that means that when your name is associated with them, you can also get their existing clientele, and also that it gets your name out there to people that you may not have met if you weren't at the salon. With the cons for working in a salon, I would definitely say the first one is paying rent, and you're not quite sure whether you're going to make that money, and you're just basically paying something and you don't know whether your clientele will come or go, unless you're booked and busy already, and like let's say you're home based or you have an existing clientele and then you go into a salon, then it could be better. But especially early days, it is quite hard. It's talking from experience, it is quite hard to go into a salon. You're paying rent and you don't know how many people are gonna come in. Another con is not having full control of the aesthetics of the place. Of course, you're working at someone else's salon, someone else's studio, someone else's space. You don't quite know how to, you can't really design it in the way you want to represent your brand, and that's actually okay. Sometimes you just have to, I guess you just have to find somewhere that kind of fits your brand. That's something that I would say, if that's something that's really important to you, find something that fits your brand. Another con is you're tied in a contract. So with working in a salon, sometimes you would probably have to sign a contract, and please make sure you read the terms and conditions in that contract, because there was one where I was actually going to get a suite, right, and it said that you have to, the first 2 months or something, or first month or whatever, is you don't have to pay, but then after that you have to pay that money. I'm not going to say exactly how much it was, but it was very like, whoa, how am I going to make this if I don't have that? Like, I'm not booked and busy here, like my clientele is not there. Do you know what I mean? Like, to even make that amount that I need to pay a month. So I would definitely say is read the contract and probably even negotiate. Just say do a trial period or something like that. That always works out good. So yeah, or maybe even know when you can leave, like what is the leaving policy and things like that. Make sure you discuss this from the beginning. Even if it's not written in a contract, just discuss it so you have that information at hand. With working in a salon, a con would be you don't really have flexible hours as you would, let's say, at home or mobile, and that I'm saying that because you are basically agreeing to work at someone else's place, and you're telling them, I will be here on this and this day and this time. You can't wake up that day and say that I don't want to work, because you will need to work. That is a commitment that you've made, and it doesn't look professional if you now wake up and say, I don't want to work today because you're tired or you don't have any clients. You just have to show up, I'd say. So make sure you are committed and discuss. You can also discuss it beforehand as well if that helps. Be committed to the business. Moving on to mobile bookings. So with mobile, I'll say a pro for mobile is you get to visit different places, always on the road, always doing something, like not all the time, but when you do have a client and you want to do mobile, you're traveling somewhere, and if this is something that you like, then perfect. With being mobile, you do not have to pay rent or bills. Like the bill, when you use something or the electric or water or whatever, it's coming from your client's establishment or where they've invited you, so you're not really responsible for any of those things. And also another pro is you can charge extra for the travel. It means more opportunity to make money. Those are the pros that I've thought of so far with mobile. I can't really think of anything else. Let me know, guys, what are other pros that come with working mobile? Let me know in the comments. Cons for working mobile is if you haven't got a car, then it may be difficult to be going around with your staff. And I can say this because the first time I ever did mobile, I had like a big bag of like nail stuff, and luckily obviously I was driving, thank God, but if I wasn't, it was a hassle. It was such a hassle just to even get the things in the car and in that bag. It was a hassle. So definitely consider this is a big thing, especially if you're doing things that you require a lot of staff. That's a con for me, I'd say. Another con would be, yes, you get to travel, but at the same time you don't know where you're going, you don't know the environment, so you don't know whether it's safe or not. And that is something you should definitely consider with doing mobile. Which also relates to another con for being mobile is you don't know who's going to be there. You don't know their space. Like, they could have pets, they could have siblings in the house, their partner in the house. It's a madhouse, or it's the most quietest place and you don't even know whether you can play music or not. So yeah, I think maybe discuss these things with your client beforehand. It can be a con, it can also be a pro. Just, you know, gets you thinking, like, what are the questions that I can ask my client when I'm booking them in. Another thing is workspace may vary, and I'm saying this because I have experience where we had to do nails on the floor. From memory anyway, I remember sitting on a pillow. We had like a small table. She was sat on a pillow and we was doing nails there because, for one, I obviously forgot my table, and I guess it was my fault, I assumed that she had like a dining table that we can sit on and do the nails. But after that experience I already learned, so make sure you know where you're going. So let's take it home. Pros for working at home is your space, your rules. That is a big pro. I'm pretty sure most of you would agree. Even if you're renting, you're just, you know, using your own space and you have control over it. It can be as warm as you want, it can be as bright as you want, you know, those type of things. Another pro is somewhere you are comfortable. This is your space. This is your familiarity. Is that a word? Is that a word? You are familiar with this space. So as a beginner, this is especially for beginners, as a beginner, if you're starting at home, doing it where you are most comfortable can really, I think it could help with your confidence. You know, you don't have to speed up. You don't have to speed up doing nails or whatever. You just take your time with that, and you could even invite friends over or whatever and start that way. I would say that's a pro for doing it at home. Another pro is you're already paying rent where you're staying, so you're saving money on paying extra rent on doing your services, so you're not paying rent as in you would in a salon. So again, a pro. Another one is you have more control of the type of clientele that you have, and also the numbers, the quantity of people that you will be seeing a day, a week, or whatever. And that, I'd say that's also a pro, because you know, if you, again, like if you actually want to wake up one day and say, I don't want to work today, you can do that because you're in your own space. Again, you're saving money on paying rent, so you don't have to worry. The rent been paid. This is just extra if it is extra, but if it's not, girl, you better get up. You better get up and work. Cons for working at home would be the increase in your utility bills. This is like water, electric, especially electric, and anything else that you pay and will be using for your own services. That bill's gonna go all the way up. But if you are aware, you can always deduct this from the payments that you receive. As business, you know, you're paying for that. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. If you want that conversation, let me know in the comments and I will do another video focused on that. Sometimes working from home, you could have limited space, so the types of furniture that you get may be very different as you would have in a salon. For example, when I started, I literally just dedicated a little corner in my little flat. I swear to God, little corner in my little flat, and I was like, this is where I'm gonna do nails. And it was a cute little table. I still have that table till this day because it's strong and it's good. So I dedicated that space for that, and it was always just there. So I don't know, at the time, because obviously I lived by myself, so I didn't mind it staying there and being there. It was fine. And that also leads us to the next point, where a con could also be if you are in a shared space, you need to think about the odor and also where your things are going to go. That could also put a limit on the amount of clients that you will be getting in. From my experience, I felt like this is a shared space. I can't really be having people in and out every other hour, do you know what I mean? So it's about really being considerate, and other person, if they understand what you're going through and what you're trying to do with your business, I guess that could, you know, help. But definitely think about that. Another con, I think this one, it's always been my main concern, is different people coming in and out of your home, out of your own sacred space, out of your own safe space. For me, that's a con, just because you don't know who's coming in. You actually don't know these people, especially new clients. You don't know them, you don't know their agenda, you don't know what type of energies they bring in. That could be a con, so maybe think about that and how you can go about it. With me, for example, I was like, there's a point where, especially if it's guys, I'll be like, I need to see ID. Or if someone that I'm unsure of, I will ask for ID. And remember, I put this in my policy as well, like, just so I know for certain that you are who you say you are. I've had experiences where people are booking in because guys, this is so silly, but people have literally booked in because their man liked my picture, or they assumed I was talking to their man or something. Child, it was a whole nother thing. That is why that's a con. Think about it. Don't dwell too much on it though. Remember to trust yourself, and eventually you will end up where you need to be. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.